Bullis, and here to talk about what's going on up in the attic. I bought the house. This was uninsulated space by and large. There was in the floorboards, if you look here, you can see this is the old rock wool. You know, there's maybe 2.5 inches at best. So, you know, our value is less than 10, and current standards are 49. So, obviously something needed to be done, but they wanted to utilize the space. It's a nice decked attic. We had to cut some boards to rewire the house. The house had knob and tube wiring, which we can't insulate around. It's just it's a fire code issue. But so we went and re-insulated. We got our first piece of rigid insulation on the wall here, so it's good timing. But once we got the electrical done, but before we put this on, we stuffed some plastic down in the soffits. It's just my general rule. I don't like to put cellulose insulation, which is what we're going to be using here, down into the soffit. So if there's ever a water problem, oftentimes it's worse there. So it's outside of the thermal envelope, as we call it. So right now the thermal envelope goes across the floor. Well, we're going to make this heated space, so we're putting the thermal envelope on the slanted ceilings, and then we're going to blow cellulose in between. So right now you've got 6 inches. 6 inches of cellulose, and then you'll have an 1.5 inches of polyisocyanurate, which most rigid insulations you can't leave exposed, but we're going to leave it exposed, but this is a special material. It costs an extra $10 a sheet, so a 4x8 sheet of this was about $40. So it's not cheap, but at least it'll be insulated, meet fire code, and then it'll be all set so in the future they can go through and sheetrock it. You can look up here. Well, they had old collar ties every other rafter, and we went and put ones on every rafter. So Rob's finishing up the electrical. I'm getting started here, finishing up some framing around the chimney, and we'll be able to start insulating soon.
And I think a great thing to point out is the plastic bags that are stuffed in the whatever it's called, the thing at the end. They're just
soffit.
The soffit. They're just old plastic bags from cellulose. They're not anything that was purchased for this. They're something that would have been thrown out otherwise.
Right. So we try to utilize those bags whenever we can. Matt came up in the nick of time.
We introduced Matt downstairs.
You did? Oh, okay. So in any case, we got to get back to work.